Hey everyone, Lindsay from Lucky Bird Photo here. I am here to give you some tips and tricks on this Tuesday. I have this series where that's exactly what I'm doing. Helping my couples have a stress-free day. If you're not a couple, hopefully I can still help you with everything. And yeah, just giving wedding tips and advice. So I am a wedding photographer. I am based in Northwest Ohio and I specialize in engagements and weddings. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about 3 things that your wedding photographer shouldn't have you do. Whether you're taking your engagement photos, taking your wedding photos, whoever you have booked, these are 3 things that you shouldn't have to do on your own. And by choosing somebody that has a lot of amazing reviews, I know I hit that home all the time if you listen to me, but choosing somebody that has amazing reviews, that's been around for a long time, that has experience with lots of weddings, then they are not going to do these things. So this is more of just a heads up. The biggest one is choosing the time of day for your engagement photos. So with me and with all other photographers, we know the best time of day where there's going to be really even, nice, flattering light. And if your photographer is wanting to photograph you guys like at noon, I would be very shocked. That would be a red flag for me a little bit, because those beautiful photos that you see in that beautiful golden light, those do not happen at noon. That's the time the light is the highest, the brightest, and it just isn't flattering. It's not flattering for anyone. So keep that in mind when you're taking your wedding photos too. If you want to do like a first look and do portraits, doing those at noon is not ideal. It would actually be better for you to do like a 90-minute cocktail hour or sneak away for sunset photos later in the day and get a more even, flattering light than to want to take all of your portraits at noon, or around noon, I should say. Usually like 10 to 2 is just like not the prettiest light for everything. So another thing your photographer shouldn't have you do is create your own timeline. I'm 100% there for my couples whenever they need me, and part of what I do is help them create that timeline. So if somebody's coming to me and they have a ceremony and a reception start time for everything, that's great. We'll build around that. We can build above that, we can build below when everything starts and they get introduced, and we can really just figure out what your priorities are, how to maximize like our time together, and everything like that. So the last thing that you're gonna ever see me do is be like, what family photos do you want on the day of your wedding? Or like on the day of your wedding, ask you if you want to do things. We should already know those things, and those things should already be figured out, because most likely this is your first time getting married and you have no idea how long things are going to take. With me, I've done over 300 weddings, so I have an idea of how long things are going to take at this point. Worst case scenario, best case scenario, and kind of everything in between, like the average for everything. So your photographer should be helping you create your timeline. And if for some reason you book them, you have no communication with them, and then they just expect that they're going to show up and photograph your day, that's insane. It's not going to work out well for you, for them, for anyone. So make sure that you find a photographer that is willing to work with you guys and help you craft that perfect timeline for everything. And the last thing is kind of something that I already touched on, but you shouldn't have to guess the important parts of your wedding day. So if you are wanting to do photos at a certain time, if you are wanting to, like, let's say that you have 60 minutes in between your ceremony and reception, and you want to get all your portraits done. You've got a huge wedding party, you want to get lots of different photos with them, and you have huge extended, immediate, everything in between family photos that you want to get. That's realistically not possible in 60 minutes. That's one of those things that's a 90-minute timeline for me. So you could do a first look before. If you don't want to see each other, we could do wedding party photos before. We could try and get some of those smaller family groupings out of the way before, where it's just you and them, and your spouse not seeing, not being in the photos with you guys, not seeing everything. there's just so many things we can do to maximize that. So you shouldn't have to guess those things. With you not having any experience doing this, you just don't have any idea how long things are going to take. And you'll find like timelines online, sample ones like on Pinterest, and different things about how long things take. Sometimes I feel like those are really geographical. Like you might find like a sample timeline and it's based out of like California, like it's a California wedding photographer. Most of their weddings are outside and 90% of them are first looks. Just as an example, that's not going to be realistic with like the Midwest, like that timeline's not going to work for us, like in the wintertime where it gets dark at like 5, and it's really dark and it's just really cold, and it's just a different feel, I feel like, around here than it is out there, with everything, because it's still warmer. You can still go out later. You're not gonna like freeze with everything. So just keep that in mind too. If you're looking at sample timelines, they'll give you general ideas of things, but they might just be a little off geographically for everything. So those are 3 things that your wedding photographer shouldn't have you do. If you have any questions for me, if you have anything you want me to cover, shoot me a DM. Let me know how I can help you guys, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your Tuesday.